See the white underneath? It's one of the juveniles. Looks like he's getting ready to land somewhere. I saw his feet come down. My name's Amanda Chure, and I am a fish and wildlife biologist out of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. I'm here to tell you about this bald eagle's nest and how it's protected in Nebraska and across the country. Eagles start egg laying as early as middle of February. Eagles will take turns incubating their eggs. They can lay anywhere between 1 to 3 eggs, and they'll do this up until mid-March, because that's when the eggs will start hatching. And they won't all hatch at once. It takes approximately 8 days for all their eggs to hatch. When chicks are born, they're pretty vulnerable. They can't thermoregulate properly. They don't have enough feathers. They're also partially blind, so they can't fend for themselves. So the female stays at the nest most of the time while the male is doing all of the hunting and gathering for food. He's bringing the food back to the nest for the chicks. She'll take the food and pull it in smaller pieces, and she'll feed it to the chicks. Those chicks will develop over the course of the next several months. But about mid-June is when eagles are able to fledge. And fledging is when an eaglet will attempt its first flight. They're still very much dependent on their parents. They're not really independent until that 16-week mark. Bald eagles don't develop their white head until about 4 to 5 years old. You'll see dark brown feathers. They won't have their brilliant yellow beaks yet. They'll be kind of black. So bald eagles are piscivorous, which means is that they primarily eat fish. When fish aren't available, they'll eat other items such as carrion or waterfowl, small mammals, squirrels even. Well, bald eagles used to be listed under the Endangered Species Act, but they were recovered in 2007 due in large part to just a conglomerate of conservation biologists, land managers, and just members of the public helping to recover that species. We've noticed an exponential growth in the species since it was delisted, but that's in large part to monitoring and banning of pesticides like DDT. So while the bald eagle is no longer listed as an endangered species, it is, however, still federally protected under the Bald and Golden Eagle Protection Act and the Migratory Bird Treaty Act. It protects bald eagles by prohibiting the take or disturbance of eagles, their nests, or parts at any time throughout the year. During the species breeding season, the Fish and Wildlife Service recommends that non-motorized recreational activities, walking on and off trails, biking, photography, we recommend that those activities remain 330 feet away from a bald eagle's nest. Don't fly drones near or around eagle's nests because that can also harm them. If an eagle notices you and starts calling, that means you're too close. Oh, did you hear it? It just made a noise, or called. He's calling. I think the city of Papillion should be proud these eagles are here because we're in a changing environment where the human population is getting bigger, and we have to learn how to coexist with this species and share this environment with them so that they can come back to their home year after year. I mean, the species lives about 20 to 30 years, and they'll keep reproducing until they can't anymore. That's an amazing thing. People who live here should protect the species so people who come after them can enjoy them as well. So even if you're not a biologist, you can still do a heck of a lot to help conserve a species. If you see a bald eagle's nest is being disturbed, or you want to learn what you can do to help bald eagles, you can contact your state conservation officer who's responsible for the county that you live in, or you can contact the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service for more information.